Speaker, I would like to request our Central Spokesperson, United Kashmir People's National Party, Mr. Nasir Aziz Khan, to express his views. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is an honor for United Kashmir People's National Party that today we have organized this reception to give honor and respect to our members, British Parliament, Fabian Hamilton and Richard Burgon. First of all, I would like to congratulate to you and your party for this tremendous victory in recent elections. United Kashmir People's National Party believes in secularism, democracy, and core values of humanity and development and peace. And we share these common values with your party. We are thankful to you and your party that in past you have facilitated us for your unwavering support to people of Kashmir for right to self-determination. In recent months, in Pakistani administrated Kashmir, people took into the street for their rights, and they came into space in a huge number. And as usual, state uses all its tactics to silence the people's voices. Today in Pakistani administrated Kashmir in Rawalakot, there was a huge rally organized by 10 extremist terrorist organizations, and they issued one fatwa: if somebody will oppose the policies of Pakistan on Kashmir, he will be considered as a blasphemy, and it is allowed to eliminate such people, secular and progressive people. Our land is forcibly divided since 1947. Not only land, our families are torn apart. We are not allowed to freely move from one part to another part. We appreciate that Pakistan and India, they are doing business in Punjab, in other regions, but in our areas, which is forcibly divided, we are not allowed to move from one part to another part. Our right of freedom of movement is compromised, and thus we are not allowing people to interact with each other and to meet their loved ones. It is imperative that Great Britain and international community come forward to listen our voices. We are against extremism, terrorism, criminalism, and religious hatred. We have a long history of secular, progressive ethos. We have been living with harmony and peace. Our state was invaded, we are forcibly divided, and states are imposing their agendas, imposing their decisions on the basis of military might, which are unacceptable to people of divided state of Jammu and Kashmir. We are gathered to raise our voices. We want to request you that this issue should be considered in your recent government positively. This is not a matter of land between India and Pakistan. This is a matter of the lives of the millions of the Kashmiri who are living there and outside Kashmir, in diaspora Kashmir. And due to the paucity of time, I will not take much time. I once again congratulate both of you and your party on this great victory, and we hope that our voices will be listened and we will jointly move forward to find a peaceful and long-lasting solution of this. One of the oldest agenda on UN which is called Kashmir issue. I thank you each and everybody who came here today and gave us honor and respect in this discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Now I would like to invite our esteemed political mentor and the party chairman, Mr. Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri. We look forward to hearing his insights on today's event. Please share your thoughts on the ideological alignment between our party and the Labour Party within British politics, while keeping the United Kashmir People's National Party at the forefront of our discussion. The floor is yours, sir.
Dear friend, elected member, Fabian Hamilton and comrade Richard Burgon. Today, actually, we are celebrating your victory because we both, especially Fabian Hamilton, he is long associate and cooperating and helpful. Then, here means not here, but in Great Britain, some of motivated groups, some of elected councillors, and some of Pakistani origin, they are trying to harass us and put pressure on MPs and MPs and councillors that do not associate UKPNP. My special thanks, Madam Rosie. Actually, she is our best supporter. Then 4 mullahs, clerics, and some of the councillors visited every member of the parliament and asking them to not participate in our convention. At that time, there are many elected members of the parliament committed with us to join our convention, but some of not come. They think that if they participate in our convention, they maybe lose some voting space. And I think Fabian Hamilton was also feel some kind of pressure. But Madame Rosie, who encouraged him, if they are the right people, you don't afraid of your constituency or vote, but you should stand with the victim people. Our party is a secular party, progressive party, democratic party. Our only fault was that in a Muslim society we believe gender equality, and we are asking the religion has nothing to do in state affairs. And that's why the all clerics and radical motivated Muslims issues fatwas against us. They are always propagating that they are pro-India, anti-Pakistan. Frankly speaking, we are not anti-Pakistan, we are not anti-India. But they force us, you must ask that you are anti-India. I was asking, no. UKPNP is not anti-anything. We respect their sovereignty. We are just principally against those policies who marginalize the people, who marginalize the women, who put pressure on and through different draconian laws compromise and ban over freedom of expression. Today, time is too short. And basically, this celebration was not given us a long speeches, and you give me the assignment, it's too difficult to elaborate. But only I must say that I was always emphasizing and asking my party members here in UK that support Labour. We have no other plan. because we are not conservative, we are not anarchist, we are not believing marginalization. So Labour Party in UK is the only party which at least recognizing the people's rights. Although we have many reservations, but that reservations not that we should stood against Labour Party. No, we are the supporter, and we are our many comrades, member of the Labour Party on my instruction, and there also is a commitment. Here we have different opinion on the issue, and everybody has the consensus, especially those who belongs to the historical state of Jammu Kashmir and citizens, that Kashmir issue should be resolved according to the wishes of the Kashmir. But unfortunately, now India has changed its role. I was formerly always asking that India did not came in Kashmir as conqueror. India came in Kashmir as a pledge of savior, saved the life and property and the state against those who actually invaded and killed many of our Kashmiri brothers, kidnapping women. At that time, our rulers, although he was not a democratically elected ruler, he was king, but it was the Great Britain, it was the Congress Party, the founding party of the India, and the All Muslim League. She is the founding party of the Pakistan. And Pakistan was created. Pakistan did not get the freedom. It was created, and the creator was the Great Britain. There was a freedom struggle against the colonialism, colonization, but at that time, it was a great mistake that in India, British India was divided into two parts on the basis of religion. And that seed still the indigenous peoples are facing. Now, India is also using religion, the ruling party. And anybody who raise voice that every citizen of India has the equal right, ruling party asking them to leave it. They are believing in majoritarianism. And our historical state, which was not merged into India, and very much it was a disputed according to the UN regulation. See, through the majoritarianism, there we have no such kind of a representation which influences the parliament. There are above 500 members from the India and only 3 from the Kashmir. They were not ready to listen their voice. And state was divided into 2 parts. One was Ladakh and the other was Jammu Kashmir. And the status of the historical state was, even according to the Indian Constitution, degraded, and it become now union territory. That means even the elected member of the state has no say to any formulate the strategy which benefited the local people, and 35A of the Indian Constitution will guarantee that the state majority, the state population was not converted into the minority. But now India abrogated that, and the special status which was through a treaty and it was incorporated in the Indian Constitution, has been abrogated, like 370 and 35 A state subject law. So now India and Pakistan, their character, their behavior and role with the Kashmiri people is equal. Before it was not equal. My party was not thinking that India and Pakistan on the same. It was the Pakistan who invaded. It was Pakistan who first complied to the UN resolution, but Pakistan did not. But there are many people, in Kashmir, especially from the Azad Kashmir, which is again a joke with the Kashmiri people. It's not Azad. It's very much colonized. Our natural resources and everything is under the Pakistani military rule. And now it's a new kind of colonization of the resources. But all our resource and forest land is allotted to the military. And it affects our environment. And same is on other part which is under India. So it's a very alarming situation for us because our families are divided, our state forcibly divided. So we need your support. We need that people should understand our miseries, our human rights, which is very much violated in Gilgit-Baltistan. All the human rights defender is now facing charges and scheduled force. Scheduled force means any person cannot move on his village or town until and unless he will not get the permission from the local police station. So this kind of draconian laws we are facing. And the role of the intelligence agencies in the state of Jammu Kashmir. When I say state of Jammu Kashmir, both the parts, whether it's under India or Pakistan, they are actually involved and behaving like a mafia above the law. And even there are many people facing persecution, solitary confinement and enforced disappearance. It's a big issue. I would not, due to the paucity of time, go into detail. But again, sir, we are very happy that you both again elected and trust of the constituents, and we think you are our true sympathizer, true helper and cooperator, and both are organized and give us the opportunity in the Parliament, British Parliament, and so that we be able to invite many different speakers, different human rights defenders, and that is only possible for your support. So I again congratulate, and on my behalf of the party, they are also feel very happy whether they are living in Switzerland or in Belgium or in Germany or in Italy. And thank Madam for your encouragement, your great husband. He is really a great man. Not only a politician, but he has a very good heart. And Mr. Richard, he is our comrade. He believes in socialism, and socialism means that he is fighting for peace. Today, it is the war capital who wages the war, who retains the regional conflicts, because due to the conflicts, they are benefited. And it is the war capitalists who invested in the conflicts and promoting and projecting such kind of a party, whether it's Hamas or in our area, Jamaat Islami, or so many religious motivated groups. They are all funded by the state through the war capital. And war capital is against the peace. So we need peace. We are asking world community give a peace a chance so that we can live in peacefully, we can interact with each other, we can build our narrative for the future of our generation. I thank you, our President, Sardar Tariq. He is the President of UK Zone, and always he is so kind to organize such meetings, and all over the UK Congress, all over cabinet, they are organizing many seminars during this short period in London, in Birmingham, and every like UK town, so that we can communicate our people, we can give them some kind of overview of our region, and so that people are aware. And that's why I am asking all UKPNP members and also our vanguards and all our respected lords, we need your support, we need your guidance, because why for right-wing parties day by day gain more and more space, and ultimately you people should think about the rights which were held on 20 August or something, I forgot the date. All of us, we should think who is the supporter of that, and why Labour Party or the other democratic parties fail to expose them, and especially the displacement, the Iraqis, the Syrians, the other people who came here, because it's wrong policy of the governments who waged the war, and ultimately common people suffered and displaced. So in search of life, they are moving their own countries. Anybody who is not willingly moved or left his own country, but it is the warmongers who actually displace the people, who make the policies, anti-people policies, anti-national policies. Just some areas, they are waging war in the name of democracy. What kind of a democracy? What kind of a policy who waged the war on the countries and ultimately dismantle their infrastructures, destroy their schools, hospitals, and end of the day, people have no food, no medical facilities, schools are closed, their education process has been stopped. So at least we should all stand up against war policies and accountable their rulers why Ukraine war is going on. Got it wrong. Otherwise, we feel unable to accountable our rulers' policies, wrong policies, anti-people policies, and we are only moving around as observers. Our advices will not work. We should play a role as a player. Then we can be able to stop this kind of unjust wars and able to resolve the conflicts which actually the exploitation of the area, colonize our resources, and people become more poorer and poorer, and rich got more wealth, and they are able to move one country to other country. They get visas very easily, but the poor people is not able to move one country to other country. I thank you very much. Again, I congratulate and we hope that your support, your help matter for us, and it will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for traveling all the way from Switzerland to be here with us tonight. Your presence here has given us the opportunity to host our honourable members of Parliament in the most dignified manner. We are truly grateful for your support and leadership. Now, I would like to introduce the Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Richard Burgon, who has been served the Leeds East constituency under the Labour Party platform and has been elected for the 4th time, if I'm not mistaken. Throughout his career, Mr. Burgon has held significant roles, including Shadow Economic Secretary to the Treasury and Shadow Justice Secretary as well, and a Lord Chancellor for the Justice in Jeremy Corbyn's cabinet. He has consistently stood up for the peace, justice and dignity. I would like to highlight his statement which he has given last time in the speech at the Jubilees House conference in London. He said, and I quote, "We will stand for the people of Kashmir, but it is your duty to remind us to keep the issue of Kashmir highlighted." So we are here and we will be highlighting more after in future to stand up for us if possible for against our oppression and for our human rights in the Kashmir and our rights to be heard in the power corridors. Without further ado, I will request the right honourable member, please welcome him in the round of applause, Mr. Richard Burgon.
Well, thank you so much, and what a wonderful gathering. And it's great to catch up with Fabian and Rosie after a couple of busy weeks in Parliament, and Parliament stops again for the conference season. But both myself and Fabian really appreciated the help that you gave us during the general election. And I want to say particular thanks to Tariq, who's down there, Tariq. It's my Leeds accent to see some of his work, and to hear as well, both of you, who all the time were campaigning, both for Fabian and myself, and I think for others, who were there until late at night, from early in the morning, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the difference you made in my campaign. I was delighted to double my majority. I really enjoyed campaigning alongside you, and long may that continue. I'd like to thank all the speakers. It's great to see our friends from Bradford as well. And during the general election campaign, I had the great pleasure of sharing a platform with Gazantha over in Bradford, where Imran Hussein's campaign launch took place in Bradford East. And I also thank our colleague, the first Lord Mayor in Bradford from a Muslim background, I believe, in 1985, for his comments about the challenges that face the Labour Party now of trying to undo the injustices visited upon our communities in the last 14 years of Conservative misrule. It was also fantastic to hear from Asghar, who's no longer with us. By that, I don't mean anything bad has happened to him. I mean, he's had to leave. And also Ghulam, who always speaks wisely, and is, of course, is a really committed campaigner for Kashmir. You mentioned the conference that I hosted in Parliament for your group, and I'm very much looking forward to organising another conference. Yesterday, I was at the annual general meeting of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Kashmir. It was very well attended, I'm pleased to say, and as has been mentioned by Gazantha, Imran Hussain, my friend, the Member of Parliament from Bradford East, was elected as chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Kashmir, and I was pleased, amongst others, to be appointed as honorary vice chair as well. And I think Imran Hussain being the chair gives us a real opportunity to energise, under the Labour government, the campaign for self-determination for Kashmir, which we've heard so expertly outlined by our honoured guests again tonight. And I do think we need to bring as much energy as we can, particularly under a Labour government, to this cause, recognising that it's not a bilateral matter between Pakistan and Kashmir. It's a matter for the Kashmiri people and for the whole international community that, of course, put down that United Nations resolution 70 years ago. I also think, and it's for you to lead this, that what's vitally important, as well as having MPs raising the issue of Kashmir in Parliament, through the all-party parliamentary group and in other ways on the floor of the House and in meetings with ministers, what I also think is vitally important is for you to encourage, foster and lead a mass movement, including young people of Kashmiri origin and not of Kashmiri origin as well, for the self-determination of the people of Kashmir. When we've seen big demonstrations on other important international issues, I think we do need to see a mass movement for Kashmir as well. I think that's really important. I know that you can help lead and foment that, so we can have activity in a mass movement, activity in Parliament, activity in all sorts of ways, in Geneva, in other countries and elsewhere, for self-determination for the Kashmiri people. It's an important principle that all of us as socialists and internationalists agree with, that people should be able to democratically determine their own future. Now, I know there are different groups who approach us on the issue of Kashmir, and some of them have different ideas about what the future of Kashmir should look like. Now, in my opinion, especially for an MP who's not from Kashmiri origin himself, it's not for me to decide which I think the best way forward is. It's for the Kashmiri people to decide. And the way to determine that is in a free and fair referendum, in my opinion, where the people of Kashmir, without interference, can democratically and fairly decide their own future. And I know that's what you agree with as well. And the last thing I want to say really is thank you. Thank you for teaching me about the history of your country and about its struggle for freedom. Nikali was saying earlier she's here to learn. Well, I remember being here to learn many, many years ago when I was, well, not that many years ago, 11 years ago. That's quite a long time. To learning about this issue. It was a great privilege to learn about the history of Kashmir and its ongoing struggle for freedom, self-determination and democracy. So thank you for teaching me about it. Thank you for allowing me to support your struggle. As I said in the conference in Parliament, it was a fantastic event and I look forward to repeating. It's for you to lead and it's for members of Parliament to support. And we look forward to doing that. So thank you for what you do in terms of politics in Leeds and in this country. And thank you for what you do in terms of this vital cause for Kashmir as well. And I think that the all-party parliamentary group will look forward to working with you and pushing these issues forward with greater energy and urgency than ever before. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Richard Burgon, for your time and presence at this occasion and the pledge for the future conference as well. So, which was not possible without your presence. Much obliged and appreciated. Thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce our esteemed guest, Member of Parliament, Mr. Fabian Hamilton. His re-election for the 8th consecutive time is a remarkable achievement. To his unwavering dedication, representing the people of Leeds North East as their Member of Parliament. Mr. Fabian Hamilton has been a steadfast advocate for his constituents, earning their trust and support throughout the 8 consecutive elections. His unwavering commitment to his community since 1997, he has held various important positions, continually working for the betterment of the society. In addition to the current role, Mr. Hamilton has also served as the Shadow Minister for Disarmament and Peace, where he made significant contributions to advocating the cause of global peace and security. please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Fabian Hamilton, the Member of Parliament.
Thank you very much indeed, Master of Ceremonies, Chairman, Vice Chairman. Thank you for coming from the lovely city of Geneva and Zurich to be with us this evening. Councillors, and my dear colleague and comrade Richard Burgon, and of course my wife Rosie, I'm so pleased to see all of you tonight. In 27 years as a Member of Parliament, the most important lesson I've learnt is that nobody does this on their own. It's not because I'm so brilliant that I've got a majority that I've got. It's not because I'm so good that I'm the MP. It's because of you, all of you. And it's because the constituents of this great constituency of North East Leeds, multicultural, multiracial, multi-religious, are so brilliant. They're so worth representing. They're so fantastic in their diversity. And we have struggled to make sure that we fight against all the ills of society to bring some fairness, justice and equality to the people that I represent, and I know Richard does the same in Leeds East. We're fortunate to have so many good MPs, that they're there because of you. And sitting here actually, I look at the first office that we had in 1992, the election we didn't win. And then Ghulam will remember this, across the road, next to what used to be Nash's fish shop, the building that saw us come to victory by 7,000 majority in 1997. Seems a long time ago now, and it was. But in that time, much has changed. Much is different, and sadly, much remains the same. We had some fantastic speeches this evening. Mohammed Ajib, you were a trailblazer. You were somebody who we looked up to 40 years ago when you became the Mayor of Bradford, the first Muslim Lord Mayor in the United Kingdom. That blazed the trail for others. Ghazan Fakari, you did the same. You followed in the footsteps of such a great man. And Ghulam Hussain, Ghulam, you mentioned that when I was chair of the Race Equality Committee, that was 1988. That was a long time ago, a job I did for 6 years, but I couldn't have done it without you and our friend Clinton Cameron. You were absolutely brilliant. And then you went on, after your career in the council, to be the councillor for Roundhay Ward, our first Labour councillor, well, for many, many years. And you blazed the trail there, making room for the new councillors to come in, Christine McNiven and Bill Urry and the others that joined us and made Roundhay a safe Labour seat on the City Council. It was your hard work, your connections, your dedication that did that. Thank you for everything you've done. Tariq, Sardar Tariq Khan, I owe you a lot, because during the election you were in touch with me and Richard every day. You told us what you were organising, what you were doing, and again, we couldn't have done it without some more constituents out there. And well, all of you, you led the way, but all of you did the work, and I'm indeed truly grateful to you. And Kelly Manaka, you're a relatively new councillor, I know, in Burbantoft and Richmond Hill, but we met before you were elected, and I think you said something very important, that your origins are in South Africa. This last weekend, I attended an inspirational meeting in Oslo. It was to discuss the problems in Tunisia and how they overcome the increasing autocracy and dictatorship of the President-elect Kais Saied, who faces election again next month, who will almost certainly win on probably a turnout of 8 to 10% of the population, such as the discussed with the abolition of the democratic processes. Now, the reason I mention that is because the speaker we had at the conference was a man called Ebrahim Rasool, who you might remember. He was South Africa's ambassador to the United Nations for the ANC, when the ANC took power after the end of apartheid. But what he told us this weekend was that the struggle against apartheid, the struggle for freedom for the people of South Africa, for the majority people there, for the Rainbow Nation, is a struggle whose lessons can be applied to the struggle for self-determination anywhere in the world. And he demonstrated how that was possible. I found it an inspiration. It was extraordinary. Of course, he's now a professor at Stellenbosch University, but he may well be a diplomat again. But we need more people like that, who teach us how you learn the lessons of something that's universal. The struggle against oppression
the struggle against autocracy and dictatorship, the idea that one man or group of men, and it usually is men, can tell us all how we must live our lives, can oppress the women of our world and tell them they don't matter, they're not important. And you said that, Shaukat. You said that actually the struggle that you have as the chairman of UKPNP was a struggle for not just Kashmir's independence and self-determination, not just a nation that was secular and that valued diversity, but a nation that valued its men and its women as equals. And I think that's one of the most important things we can say. Because where are our women? Without them we are nothing. We are an equal society. We need to be, but we've a long way to go. So I just conclude by saying my heartfelt thanks to everybody in this room. Thank you for celebrating with us. We have a Labour government that may have made one or two initial early mistakes, but has great promise with energy, with greening our energy system and making it state controlled, with our railway system, bringing it back into public ownership so that we have an integrated railway system once again, for championing green active travel, something that I'm very keen on as a cyclist, but for those who can walk, with those who are able to increase and improve the public health. We have a government that believes that it needs to tackle poverty, and I hope to see, as Richard I'm sure does too, not just a peaceful solution to the self-determination problems of so many nations, including our dear Kashmiri friends and the nation of Kashmir, but look at Sudan, look at Yemen, look at those other struggles that are going on around the world, of course Ukraine, but struggles where people are fighting for their right to exist, to survive as people and as nations, as human beings, in freedom, peace and security. I want to see those resolved too. It's a high bar to meet, but also one thing I'd like to celebrate at the end of this term of office is an end to food banks, because it's a disgrace on our country that we have food banks. And if we can achieve a level of equality once again by attacking poverty, by ensuring that food banks are no longer necessary, then we will have indeed have achieved something better in many ways than almost any other achievement. So here's to fairness, to justice, to equality for all, and let's celebrate the rest of this evening with that in mind. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great honor.
Once again, thank you for your kind words and your continued commitment to our cause. Your support means a great deal to us, and we look forward to working together in the future as well. So now I will request the host of this event, the organizer and the president of the United Kashmir People's National Party, UK Zone, Sardar Tariq Khan, to come up and say some closing words. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Honorable UKPNP Chairman, esteemed members of the Parliament, especially Your Excellency Mr. Fabian Hamilton and Mr. Richard Burgon. Dear councillors, former Lord Mayors, distinguished guests and members of United Kashmir People's National Party. I am immensely grateful for your presence here tonight. Each and every one of you has made this event truly memorable. There is no doubt that the recent victory of the Labour Party across the country was remarkable. However, here in Leeds, we are especially honoured to have our dear friends, Mr. Fabian Hamilton and Mr. Richard Burgon, re-elected once again. A well-deserved achievement that fills us with pride and happiness. It is why we are gathered here today to celebrate their success and to express our hope that they will continue to serve and represent our community for as long as they wish and enjoy the trust of the people. Dear comrades, as a member of the Labour Party and an office bearer of UKPNP, I am once again deeply obliged for your support and presence tonight. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Sardar Tariq Khan. In closing, I would once again like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who joined us tonight here, especially honorable ladies as well. So a special thanks to our esteemed guest, Mr. Chairman, the spokesperson of UKPNP, our distinguished members, the Member of Parliament, Mr. Fabian Hamilton and Mr. Richard Burgon, as well as our honourable councillors and ex-Lord Mayors and UKPNP members. Your presence made this celebration possible. Please enjoy the food. I would look forward to seeing you again at our future endeavour. Bless you all and thank you.